Let me get this out of the way. If this was a jacket, it had a chance of knocking some of my other outerwears out of my tight rotation. This being a vest, it had no chance. The vest is going on sale after my testing period. Hopefully I can make some profit on it. If not, just get all my money back. We would then use that money to buy another item, rinse and repeat, you know the deal. I kind of want to go all in. I'm jobless right now. I don't know, man. I feel like this is my calling. I feel that the content I produce is something that this website needs. There are a lot of other YouTubers making fashion content, but I really feel that I bring something unique to this space. These words, they're big. I'm dreaming. Might as well dream big, you know what I mean? One day brands will come calling. They will pay me to review their items. Companies will want to sponsor my videos because of how much they want to be associated with my channel. Anyway, enough boasting / manifesting. For today's video, we're talking about the Rick Owens Fall Winter 2023 Luxury Collection Seal Vest and Acid Stripe Boyga Snake in a size 50 or size large. I will make a comparison between Boyga Snake versus Python in another video. It's about milking your content. Besides, this video is already long enough. If I were to do the comparison, it'd be way too long. Everything is timestamped. A disclaimer, I will say Python a lot, even though it is Boyga Snake, which is a different kind of snake. Just know that I mean Boyga. Also, while I was reviewing this vest, I was super sick, so I didn't get too much B-roll as I normally would have. As you can hear by my voice, I'm still recovering. These vests first show up on the strobe runway. They all came with the gimped hood. I would have loved for this to come with it, but sadly it doesn't. Hasn't showed up since. These aren't that popular or that out there with regard to other Rick Owens product, to be honest. Without the snakeskin material, I probably wouldn't have gotten it either. Prior to getting this vest and researching it, I didn't think too many brands had made vests with hood. I thought it was so original. I was praising Rick like hell about how this is somewhat innovative. Still innovative, just not as much as I had initially thought. Rick and the team did not skim on the amount of down in the hood at all. North Face and Patagonia, when they make these sorts of jacket with a hood, they tend to thin it out a bit so they can do that whole foldability thing to hide the hood when not needed, or fold the whole jacket entirely. You can't do that with this vest. It is so thick, it is so puffy. Rick is a high fashion brand first and foremost. There are some Rick pieces that were made with practicality in mind. This isn't one of them. It's a vest. Any vest is impractical in my opinion. The downside of the hood being so thick, they're a bit cumbersome. No matter how far back you push the hood back, they're touching your neck and your head. It kind of is always on your head. The pro of this though, good head support, especially when I'm tired on the train or in the car. Essentially you got a neck pillow. I love the size of the hood, comfortably fit my big head, so it will fit your head for sure. I can comfortably zip it up without any friction with regard to my face or my hair. For comparison, with this Rick Owens jacket, I cannot zip it up all the way because the hood is so small or my head is so big. Another flaw, since it's so thick, once you got it on, very hard to hear when you got it on. My wife was walking next to me and I couldn't hear anything she said, but I kind of do that on purpose. Not exclusively to this, by the way. When I wear my North Face jacket, it's the same ordeal. It's big lengthwise and depth-wise. I'm sure the B-roll has helped with the point here. The zipper go all the way up. If it were to stop here, would have made the jacket a bit generic, just make it stand out a bit more. Would have loved the gimp feature, would have made it a bit cooler than it already is and useful. I feel a bit claustrophobic when I have it zip all the way up. If it had the nose and eyes, would have been aesthetically and functionally better. Would be super useful when I'm biking the train station. I wore this once biking to the train, kept my head so warm, loved it. Since it was so deep and so thick, it hugs the heads and never fall off when there's extra wind. I wore it like this where only my eyes were open. The downside of this is that I lose my peripheral when I need to look back. This clip here should show you guys how much down there is in the hood. I can't say enough great thing about the hood. Honestly, made me rethink the vest a bit, but still not enough to push out my other down jackets out of the rotation. Love the extended snakeskin on the interior. I love the feel of snakeskin on my face. Something different, you know, because you can feel the scales. And right here, see how my face doesn't even touch the snakeskin portion? That's how deep the hood is. I love it so much. By the way, I love this thin strip of leather to protect the zipper from hurting your face when you zip it up all the way. Super useful. And Rick also put some Python here, Boyga skin here. I appreciate the extra effort. Didn't really need to, but we got some anyway. With regard to zipper, it's rectangular as usual. I love it. It's big, it's bright, it's silver, it's beautiful. One flaw, singular polar. Would have loved a two-way zippers. Would have been more fun. Here is the beautiful ASMR of the zipper. Do you see the gray on the zipper? I would have loved yellow or full black. Gray feels a bit in between. One thing I would have loved, optional hood. Put some zipper here, easily take on and off. I love when products are multifunctional. I'm also thinking of this vest when you can take the bottom half off. Then if Rick wanted to, he can start selling hoods that we can attach and detach. Imagine adding the whale's penis onto this vest. Would be super cool. The sleeve opening are relatively big, not big enough to take your hands out without taking the vest off, but enough where it doesn't feel snug when you wear them. It has a bit of an extra space even when you wear like a sweater or a hoodie. The downside of this though, more air getting through, which can be annoying. I would have loved some tightening mechanism, so if it's super cold, we can tighten it. If it's not, we can, release it for extra comfort. Not left unfinished. Rick has been doing that a lot lately. Well, decent amount lately. This feels more secure, more long lasting. Okay, I think I solved it. Removable arms. If we had gotten this feature, I can totally see this vest kicking out my Performer down jacket out of my rotation. But then again, it's a jacket. Down vests are not useful in the winter. I've worn this out for roughly 2-3 weeks now. Body warm and cozy, arms at war with the elements at all time. I try wearing this with arm warmer, doesn't really work because if the weather is enough for me to want to wear a down jacket, a wool arm warmer would not be enough. I can totally see a vest being a middle layer for that extra warmness. Actually, no, change that, I don't. Why not just wear a thinner and more down compact jacket as a middle layer so everything is evenly distributed? I really try to see the goal and purpose of the vest, but I can't see it, okay? Go on my grill, I'm selling this piece. There will never be a day where I'm like, it's really cold, but only my body, my arms, they're super hot, I need to keep them open. Two sides pocket, I love them so much. Hidden in a way so it's a bit hard to find the opening because you don't want to run your hand roughly through the jacket to find the opening. You don't want to exacerbate the peeling process of the skin. Once you're in there, super big, can comfortably fit your phone, wallet, and AirPod. Has a snap button in the middle. I love this feature just for security's sake. The older I get, the more paranoid I become about people stealing things from me. When I'm home alone now, any noises bother me. When I'm in public and there's lots of people around me, I consciously grab my important stuff close by. I live within the circle of Munich now, so there's always people wherever we go. I used to live in Whitman, which was far from Boston Circle, so it was normal to walk on the street and not run into anyone for miles on end. The interior fabric is this thick, rugged 100% cotton, super, super dry. Has been super useful when it's cold out. Once I get my hands in there, the dry, thick cotton warms my hand up much faster than most pockets. By the way, same material as the Rick tote bag for reference. You get a bit of snakeskin on the interior, which is nice for when your hand touch them. The pockets are not sewn in completely, which is a choice for sure. Opening on the top and bottom. The pro of this, you could fit a bit more because it's not completely sewn in, so there's a bit of give if you ever truly stuff these pockets. Though I love the snap button in the middle, would have loved zippers. I don't think it would have ruined the hidden looks either, since the opening is a bit hidden within the fold of the down already. No interior pocket, which is a shame. Would have loved two. I would use that more. You get one pocket on the chest, which is nice. Love the exposed zipper, make the vest looks more fun, looks more busy. Would have loved two for aesthetic's sake. Same concept, open on the top and bottom. The opening to this pocket could be a bit bigger. When I have to take my phone in and out, it's a bit of a struggle. You have to get the right angle. Again, you can comfortably fit a phone, wallet, and AirPod in this pocket. Other than the two pockets and one breast pocket, not much else going on the front. 6 pockets of down horizontally. I would have loved vertical for the sake of being different. Everyone does horizontal, While I don't particularly like the breakup look, I prefer the smooth look for aesthetic. These sectional downs make the jacket a lot more warmer since the down are where they need to be to keep all body equally warm. The sectional aren't too pronounced because of the patterns of the python and the acid effect. Borgard snakes aren't that big, so you can see the panels of the snake glued together. I believe it's glued, by the way, because I don't see any stitches, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. Not much going on the back. I would have loved some features such as these or these. The strap would have been super helpful because the jacket, the vest, they do get me a bit too warm sometimes. So it would have been easier to be able to carry it on my shoulder because it is very cumbersome. It's super puffy, it's super thick. So when it's too warm, I have to hold it with both of my hands, or I have to, wear just the hood on my head. Some vests don't have these extra flaps, so it's a bit too tight. This flap offers you a bit more breathing room. It may not be too obvious on this jacket, so let's use this Vismum vest for more clarity. burgundy color like my performer jacket can wear as reversal, but the extended snakeskin makes it a bit too busy. I would have loved for Rick and the team to add lamb leather paneling underneath the python here for extra weight, warmness, and a sense of luxury. It would be a bit of an overkill on top of the already great down and then the python and the nylon, but this vest, already a python on top of the nylon, will pass the extraness territory already. I've been wearing my North Face jacket a lot lately because it's super practical and Munich has been super cold lately, and I don't care if it gets wet. I don't care if that jackets get wet or dirty, whereas this python vest, I baby it a bit because I know I'm going to sell it. All of that to say is, it has made me appreciate how soft this nylon is on the skin. It feels super well made. It feels, so Rick said, spare no expense. Get me the best nylon material possible, whereas North Face was a bit concerned about pricing, so they go down a few rungs. Made in Italy, which is expected. Rick is one of the few brands that have their own factories. A lot of brands outsource. Rick does outsource some production, but they mainly do it in-house. According to Rick, this is acid yellow. If you break down all of the colors, you see a hint of gray. The Borgia snake is naturally black and white, so the acid treatment turned the black a bit gray. I also get a bit of dark green. Certain lightings make the color look a bit different. It's very like chameleon. The acid spray is hand done, so there's no consistency anywhere, which is nice because when I get bored, I just look down at my brain, well, any brain. They're always trying to find patterns, but there's none, so it's a bit of like a brain exercise. While I appreciate the yellow, I would have loved this in black. If I gotten this in black, we wouldn't see the scale pattern of the snake that much, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for a black vest. That would have been cool. Yellow is good, something different, but black would have also been good. By the way, these snakes are not just called Borgia snake. They have many other nicknames. For example, cat snakes, mangrove snake, and obviously Borgia snake. They typically have a black and yellow scales. According to Rick, Borgia snake or cat snake is native to Southeast Asia, India, and Australia. Our snakes are captured in the wild in Malaysia and Indonesia, stitched together into panels and finished in Italy by an artisan. Black and white markings and scale texture are natural to the animal, therefore there will be variations in colors and pattern, making each skin and product unique. Borgia snake is common in its natural habitat and not protected by sight, which is this thing where they protect endangered species. Let's talk pattern first. The big scales are from the underbelly. The smaller, somewhat irregular shapes are on the upper. I honestly wouldn't have minded if the jacket not had the acid strip degrade motif. Super bright yellow and dark black would have been nice, but you also get the dick patterns all throughout. I'm sure you thought of it while all the B-rolls I was showing you. You've been seeing it. If we look at the natural pattern, the Borgia snake, it doesn't look like a dick. So it's definitely intentional from Rick and the team. Rick has shown off literal penises on the runway, so I would not put it past him. Sometimes we think of designer in the avant-garde scene as these serious individual, but if you read enough interview from Rick, he can be silly at times too. On the back, roughly 11 panels of snakeskin. The snakes aren't that big, they're long but not wide. I estimate it to be roughly 15 to 20 snake per vest. My wife simply says too many and walk off like she just made a great point, despite not making any points at all. I've owned 2 snake product now. I can safely say that it offers 0 practical purposes. If you look here, you can see that the snake skin is super thin. If you look at this footage of snake shedding, it's almost see-through. If python vest is available as calf or lamb, there would be no reason to use python for clothing or footwear, but because it's exotic, more beautiful, and it's not as boring as a plain old calf and lamb, because you can touch it, the scale, and you could feel each scale moving when you touch it. It's also expensive, so it's just pure aesthetic. It's lightweight or flexible due to that. It's breathable, so good for hot weather. That's really all I can say of that and can find online. With regard to disadvantages, not durable. The scale peels without the down and nylon. It would offer 0 protection as far as warmness goes. Typically, designer put a base behind the python like lamb or calf, so think of python as these peel and stick. They're simply for aesthetic. Alright, let's start peeling. I am not helping at all. I constantly run my finger through the skin. I kind of peel it off for fun a bit. It's a bit like a tick, or a challenge to see how long it'll take until I peel one off. On this vest, there's a lot more python or Borgia snake. I try not to lean against the wall, try not to put extra stress on it, because I want the next owner of this vest to enjoy the product as much as possible. Even if I were to keep it, I will still try to take care of them, because without the snakeskin, it's just another down vest. This piece is a bit of a paradox. Everywhere I've looked, I'm told not to get water on the snakeskin. I'm told to not rough out the skin, yet it's on a winter vest. There will be days when it's gonna snow. At time of this writing, I haven't experienced a snow day, experience with these yet. Well, I have, but not snowing, just snow on the ground. Of course, I haven't worn it in the rain because I'm a bit scared of what it will do to the snakeskin and the acid degrade motif. It is hand done. This is a good time to say that this is more artistic than practical. Rick is in Patagonia. He took creative liberties to make a once super useful and practical vest and added a touch of luxury and exoticness with the snakeskin. By the way, with the peeling process, when you look it up close, it looks as though each scale were individually glued on. That's how crazy snake is. They were born this way. They were able to become apex predator despite how terrible their skin is, in my opinion. I've been fascinated with snake ever since I was young. I've eaten them, killed them, and now wear them. Nuts up, I will marry them. While snakeskin provides zero functional aspect to the garment, it does make it a bit more exciting. The alternative would be nylon in this jacket. That would be super boring. Bodyguard seems to be a bit thinner than python, not scientifically proven, just my opinion. I love that the texture is tactile, differentiate itself from a few other leather in my closet. My next hill to climb is alligator or croc. I've heard designer value them for durability, so it's definitely thick and heavy. But alligator products are extra pricey. I mean, look at some of these Rick Owens products that are made from Crocs. I would say that I've had a more fun time owning this python vest over, say, my calf leather jacket because of the tactility. In a way, if I've overlooked the durability aspect, so I guess we can give it a point here. It should be noted that my opinion is a bit more down since I've owned it and have it in front of me. Prior to owning a snake product, I was so excited whenever I talk about python or anything snake related. Anyway, it's a bit like with any other product. I made a video about how your girl would disappoint you. One of the points was that you have it in front of you. That's why it's not as special anymore. For those who have never owned any snakeskin product, it's going to be super fun and super new to you. Don't let my somewhat monotonous tone affect how you feel about snakeskin product. I of course love the nylon lining, the best nylon available on the market. Talked about it already. If you never felt Rick Owens nylon, find a store and then you won't be able to look at Zara, Forever 21, Acne Studio the same way. Almost like two different material. The padding is 90% down or goose down, 10% mallard feather. Just like any other material, there's level to each product. With Visvim, they only use white superior Polish goose down. I can't seem to find where Rick sources his goose down, but they are on par with the Visvim. What perplexed me though, and what makes me hate this a bit, is its lightweightedness, which I'm sure was a choice by Rick and the team. It's so lightweight, yet it's so warm. I want them to be heavy. I am a dumb monkey. When it's lightweight, it makes me believe that it won't be that warm. The warmthness is comparable to Patagonia, which is a great compliment. Patagonia has spent decades refining their material and ways of making product. Rick is a lot newer and make more than outerwear, so for him to be able to match or even be better than Patagonia, it is an amazing accomplishment. One way they did this is of course that Rick is not bound by pricing constraint. Patagonia has to make it as cheap as possible. Rick is pricing his down jacket, you know, like 2K, 3K, 4K. If you never want a Rick Owens down jacket, try it and it will change your winter and make you think less of Moncler. Both are good, but the down from Rick is a tick above Moncler. This is a size 50 or a size large. I was a bit concerned because this is my first down vest from Rick. Great amount of space in the shoulder. I can move my arm up and down side to side comfortably. Spacious on the chest, can easily fit a hoodie or a sweater underneath. You can see how easy it is to wear it with a hoodie. Plenty of room in the sleeve opening despite how thick the hoodie is. Chest is fine. The down kind of give way for the hoodie. With a sweater, I chose this Peter Doe turtleneck. I wore this out twice, I believe, while testing. This is a bit better than a hoodie because it's wool, so it helps with the warmness a bit more. Again, super easy to put the turtleneck underneath. You can even put a thick ass North Face down jacket under. That is how big it really is. By the way, this was the only time where my arms were warm. I only tested this out by going outside for 5 minutes. However, my body was too warm because I'm 2 times with the down on the body. Down vests are so dumb. I would die on this hill. If you were to ask me for sizing opinion, I would say go true to size or one size above, because there will be days where you want to wear this as an exterior, but there'll also be days where you want to wear this interior. Also, I think Rick should give these vests a name. If it were up to me, I would call it the Darko vest. Just fits in my opinion. The length is perfect for me, slightly cropped but not too cropped. Everything about the fit is perfect for me. The vest retail for roughly $5,000. It's understandable. There's more red tape to snakeskin product. Not all factory have artisans who can work with python, so that extra cost is added to the final price, which the customer has to pay. Obviously, I don't think it's worth $5K. I got this for $4K. I got it for like 10-15% off because I was bored. I felt a bit insecure, so I gotta show all of these people that I am not financially literate nor responsible. Flexing is a new personality trait for me. For people who are into rig, they're more than well off. The next level of rig is the leather loving rig. I am sadly in that group, but I've discovered a few trade secrets to acquire pieces without spending too much. I will not share those secrets with you. Unlike those Instagram reels where they show off a rich lifestyle and proceed to sell you a course, I will not do that. If I found a loophole to acquiring wealth, I'm not going to share with people on the internet, especially not for $10 to $30 a month. I find that most have caught onto the scam. They rent those watches, cars, hotel, and how they make the money. So of course, there's courses they're selling, but I still see too many comments praising this lifestyle, defending these scammers. I hope they wake up soon before they bought too many courses. Anyway, Rick Owens Python vest, not for broke bitches. Let's take a moment to appreciate this though. I was once a dreamer of leather product. I got over that. And then I was a dreamer of Python product. Now I own 2 Python products. If I were to tell 12-year-old Makasy, he would be ecstatic to know that one day he was able to say he has a Python vest. I felt an incredible amount of joy while I was wearing this vest because I was able to take myself out of this inappreciative version of myself. I was able to wear this vest from the perspective of that 12-year-old Makasy, the one who was more curious because he had less. Doing that was tremendously helpful, and that's made the wearing experience of this vest super fun. Although I love the exoticness of Python, I will still choose horse leather because I love the thickness of that leather and it has a smell, among other great reasons. I was able to record a bit of my thought while testing them out. Okay, so I'm outside right now wearing this vest. It's very cold. It's a bit snowy right now. It's roughly this degrees weather-wise. And it's great. My head is protected, my body's protected, but my arm, they are so cold because it's a vest. So I still don't see the function of it. And throughout this testing, I'm gonna experience so many more of these cold days to my arms, because when one part of your body is warmer, it really accentuates how much colder the other part of your bodies are that are not underneath. I just don't get it. I don't get the purpose of the vest. Obviously, we know the reason why I got this piece because, you know, for a review, because I think Python or Boyga snake is cool. I'm really gonna hate the next 2 weeks. This is my first day wearing it, and the next 2 weeks it's gonna be pain because I have to wear this while biking. What I will say about this vest though, now that this vest comes with a hood, it actually solves one of my few problems where my ears and my head are 2 of my more sensitive body parts that, you know, they get cold very fast. So I am a big fan of it so far, but again, my arms is still cold. The long sleeve is kind of helping, not helping a lot, but this is a game changer for now. Okay, hello, this is day 3 of testing. You can see the snow on the ground. It's really cold. I'll put the weather up, but I'm outside right now. I'm wearing this vest, and as you can see, no long sleeve because I really do want to test this out. And I've been out here for 15 minutes and my arms are freezing, but my body is so warm, and if my head ever gets cold I can do this. But what am I gonna do about the sleeve? You know what I mean? It's I don't get it. Okay, I wore it out today. I wore it with a hoodie. Yeah. Okay, so I wore it out again today in a hoodie. I'm still a bit down, but again, it helps a bit more than a long sleeve, but my arm was still getting pretty cold. I'll put today's weather up again. But it's super weird. I have to record my testing, my findings. You know, the hood. Oh, I was also driving for the first time with this, and this thing is a really good support head system. Okay, at one point I had to do this. I had to hold it back to look for my peripheral. Look at my wife's burrito. Yeah, so again, a vest is still not that great for winter. Just short sleeve today. We're gonna go pick up a pizza. So let's see how it is. Yeah. So far, during all of these testing periods, I feel a bit, it's growing on me, you know, the vest is growing on me, mainly because of the hood, it's super warm. But again, my arm is still cold. You can see goosebumps right now, look. Can you see the goosebumps? That's how cold it is. Taking a walk at the park, wearing a hoodie today. My hands cold, but my body very warm, so walking as expected. Okay, I'm now sitting in this park, waiting for my food to finish. I mean, I also took this opportunity to come out and just get some fresh air, you know. I've been inside too much. Been having a bit of a midlife crisis, I would say. Midlife crisis. I'm 27. The vest. Let's talk about it. I know I'm repeating myself for the most part, but my body is super warm right now. And when my head gets super cold, I can put my hoodie up. I can put the hood on the vest up. And then my head is protected. So everything works great. Except for my arm. My arms are still not protected. They're freezing right now. The down, it is so warm. My body does not feel cold at all. The only flaw that I can think of right now with regard to my body is the hole on the sleeve right here. But that's really about it. Everything else is super warm. Sometimes you just need a bit of calmness. A bit of time outside the house. Fresh air is good. Fresh air is never bad for you. And I'm recording this right now while people are running by. But I care a little bit about whether they're judging me or not, but for the most part now. I do have a flashlight on me right now, so I'm trying to look a bit crazy. Anyway, I'm still recovering from my sickness, hence why you guys didn't get too many B-roll. But I hope this level of testing where I record rather than just write down my thoughts while I'm testing, I hope that makes up for it. My legs are getting pretty cold right now because it is nighttime. It's roughly 8 p.m. now. And my legs are getting cold, my arms are cold, my body is super warm. So for the parts of the body that this jacket does cover, it does do a really good job at what it does. And obviously, if I need to warm my hand, not super quick, just put it in the thing, I'll warm it up slowly. So it's pretty good. I mean, okay, I guess you can say this vest is pretty thought out. If your hands get cold, put it in the pockets, but again, no sleeve. I will always fight against the no sleeve aspect. What else can I talk about? I've been living in Germany for 7 months now, 7 months now, and it finally hits me. I am pretty alone. I don't know the language, the culture. I'm learning about it, but it's still new to me. But it is tough for someone like me who is relatively shy when I talk to workers because I don't want to bother them. So, I mean, if I go into like a high-end store, you know, most of them speak English, but for the most part, when I go to like Rebe or Edeka or Hit or somewhere, I never want to bother people. Even in the United States, I never bother people, so it's a bit worse for me here. So yeah, it feels pretty lonely despite the family I have, but internally, pretty alone. The last time I was in this part of the neighborhood, I was visiting, and now I am in this part of the neighborhood, living here forever. It feels very different. I'm in Münchner Freiheit right now. This is the train station that everybody recognizes. Yeah. I'm all alone. It's quite sad, but also funny. I'm not alone, but it just feels like I'm alone, you know? I just got home and look at how red my hands are. I was riding.
There's this thing called gloves.
I forgot my gloves and I was riding, so my whole body was so warm, yet my arms were cold. Hang on. Goosebumps everywhere. Like my arm are kind of red too because of how cold it was.
Are
mainly.
You talking to me?
No.
Okay,
I'm recording.
That's your friend. Just wear gloves, Makasy.
Thank you. I did not know they exist. And I think the reason why my arms are so much colder today was because of my body had a point of comparison. I know I'm harking on this point again, but it's very true that today has been the longest I ever worn this out, which is roughly 2-3 hours. And I was mainly outside the whole time. Like I didn't have into the warm place, out of the cold in. So I was outside just walking around the park for roughly 2 hours. And as you can see, the arms, my hands are red, my arms are red, my body is so warm because of the vest. I recorded 5 to 6 more times, but it was fairly repetitive. I complimented the hood a lot, the snakeskin. I bashed against the sleevelessness nature of the vest. While the vest did grow on me and the hood was super useful, I still can't go over the lack of sleeves. I never get a down vest. I don't think I ever will. However, don't count out the fact that I won't review another down vest. If I see it for a good price and the material or shape is interesting, I will buy it to review for this channel, and then I will sell. And you know, here's just a footage of me sitting down. I think they look pretty good because since it's crop-ish, it doesn't have that weird wrinkles, whereas when you wear something too long, you know, when you sit down, it just looks super weird. On this one, it looks good in my opinion. Hopefully I would have sold it already. If not, please go on my grill and buy it. It's a great piece. The snakeskin, beautiful. The down, beautiful. Pockets, everything. It's a very well-made product. I simply cannot get past the sleeveless nature. My father-in-law has a down vest which he mainly wears a middle layer. I sort of get that, but with this, Rick wants you to wear this an exterior layer. No matter how warm the sweater or hoodies or sleeve warmer are, they won't be as warm as this down vest. Good vest. Go out, buy it on my grill, on my eBay. If it hasn't been sold, buy stuff on my grill. So then, okay, let me talk about it real quick. The faster you buy products from my grill and eBay, the more I can buy more stuff and make more video for you guys. So it's a win-win-win-win-win for everyone, especially me. Goodbye, Makasy. Bye-bye.